You know, out here in the world of long-range shooting, it ain't just about the bullet flying true or the scope being crystal clear. Nope, what really grabs my attention sometimes is a big old piece of precision hardware somebody rolls up with. You see, a man's choice of sniper rifle tells you more about him than a stack of tax documents, and today we're going to decode that silent conversation and find out what your sniper rifle says about you. Every scratch, every custom part, every caliber choice. It's all part of the story, so let's get a bead on these personalities. First up, we got the Barrett M82, or its military brother, the M107. If you're sporting one of these, what it says about you is, you don't shoot targets, you punish them for existing. You're not just sending a bullet down range, you're sending a message, and that message is probably, stay off my lawn and bring a very, very big apology. This thing is less a rifle and more a portable anti-material cannon, designed to put a hurtin' on anything from light vehicles to the, very concept of distance. You probably bought it because you believe in overkill and then some, like bringing a whole steak dinner when all anyone else asked for was a snack. You're the kind of person who uses a sledgehammer to crack a nut and enjoys every single thunderous, window-rattling moment of it. Every trigger pull is a significant event, a real body shaker. And you probably clear out at least 2 lanes on either side of you just by showing up with that monster. You're not just making noises, you're making a statement that echoes for miles. Probably getting calls from the next county over. And you love every single glorious, ear-ringing moment, even if you need to take a minute to find your teeth afterward. This rifle shouts that you're a force to be reckoned with, someone who doesn't believe in subtle hints when a direct, thunderous declaration will do. You probably have a custom-made recoil pad or a very good chiropractor on speed dial. It's the kind of gun that makes your neighbors nervous, even if they are 3 counties away. And then you got the Accuracy International AXSR. If this is your long-range partner, that screams that you like precision so much you probably torque your scope mount with a micrometer, not just a plain old wrench. You ain't just shooting for groups, you're shooting for one ragged hole, a single perfect perforation that makes folks squint and wonder if you just hit the same spot a dozen times or only hit it once. You likely spend more time meticulously cleaning your bore and weighing your hand loads down to the thousandth of a grain than actually pulling the trigger. You're the kind of person who notices if a gnat lands on your target at 1,000 yards away, and then complains about the wind disturbance it caused because that might throw off your sub-MOA group. You know what this rifle says? This rifle says you believe in British engineering, unflinching reliability, and the absolute pursuit of perfection, even if it costs you an arm and a leg and then some, probably more than a whole deer lease. You probably got a custom-made shooting mat that's cleaner than my kitchen table and a spotting scope that costs more than my first car, if not my last 2 combined. It ain't just a rifle, it's a finely tuned instrument, a laser beam in steel, and you are its meticulous maestro, my friend, chasing that mythical perfect shot every single gosh dang time. Your targets probably have more holes than Swiss cheese, all of them exactly where they're supposed to be. The McMillan TAC50. If this is your choice, it says you enjoy paying $10 per trigger pull just to say, I could hit that from Canada, or maybe the next state over without even breaking a sweat. You're probably on the range with a spotter, looking at targets so far away they're just a blur on the horizon, or maybe you're practicing for when the aliens invade from orbit and you need to send them a message.
What's about sending a message?
Yeah, ET is not going to be happy about this one. This rifle ain't for the faint of heart or the shallow of pocketbook. No sir, you probably bought it because you wanted the biggest, baddest, most capable 50 cal precision rifle known to man. Something that laughs at the mere miles and scoffs at the wind. And that price was no object because you are committed, even if you have a second mortgage now. You're probably built like a brick outhouse yourself because this thing kicks like a true shoulder thumper that'll rearrange your vertebrae and probably your entire family tree. Your grandkids are going to feel every shot. You're not just a long-range shooter, you're a long-range enthusiast, a conqueror of distances, a real big game hunter of paper targets that are practically invisible. And you? Well, you enjoy every single expensive shoulder-bruising moment of it. Probably bragging about the time you almost hit a pigeon flying across a county line or the next time zone over. Listen, fellas, if you're sporting an SVD Dragon, well, you need to know. I mean, you wanted a sniper rifle, all right, but you also seem like you needed to cosplay Cold War nostalgia, didn't you? You probably grew up watching spy movies with mysterious figures and trench coats and fuzzy hats, or playing video games set behind the Iron Curtain, and that rifle just called to your soul with its unique silhouette. Metal Gear Solid 3, anybody? You appreciate the rugged simplicity, the distinctive look of that skeletonized stock, and the unique side-mounted optic. Plus, not to mention the history of a rifle designed for designated marksmen, not just bench rest precision that some folks chase. You're probably telling everyone within earshot about its gas-operated system and how it's not a true sniper rifle but a DMR, all whilst treating it like, well, the sharpest shooter on the line, just to show them what a real rifle looks like without all the fancy modularity. My guy, or gal, you enjoy the unique challenge of its platform and its inherent quirks, even if it ain't got all the modern bells and whistles that, some of these newfangled guns do, or the latest scope innovations. No, sir. This rifle says you value character over cutting edge. You appreciate a classic, and you're ready to reenact a historical moment at a moment's notice. Probably with a dramatic slow-motion reload that makes you feel like you're in a movie. And we can't judge you for that. The Barrett MK13 IMRAD. Oh man, if you're rolling with one of these, you think owning this makes you special forces until you see your credit card bill. Then you realize you just put a down payment on an RV or at least a really, really nice pickup truck. I mean, this thing is the latest and greatest. It's a multi-caliber beast designed for elite military units around the globe, and you've got one. Probably fresh off the truck, still smelling of factory oil. You probably spent more time researching its modularity, its quick change barrel system, and its various configurations than you did on your last 2 family vacations combined, memorizing every spec. You're looking for that ultimate versatility, that ability to switch calibers faster than my daughter can change her mind about dinner plans. Where do you want to eat? I don't know. Where do you want to eat? I don't know. Where do you want to eat? Not that. You get it. From the 338 Lapua to the 308 Winchester, and you've got all the barrels lined up behind. This rifle says you're serious about long-range shooting. You're serious about modern technology too. And you probably have a very understanding spouse or no spouse at all. Because this ain't a cheap hobby, son, it's an investment. You are at the cutting edge, all right, wearing the latest tech just to make sure your skill matches your investment. Because this rifle expects a lot out of you. And it's built for folks who demand nothing but the best. All right, next we got the MK13 Mod 0, or 5, or 7. Whichever version you claim to have. What this rifle says about you is you heard Navy SEALs use it, so now you think you're qualified to clear buildings in Call of Duty or maybe even real ones. You probably spent hours on forums digging into the history of its service, how it's based on the Remington 700 action, and all the little mods that make it Tier 1. You're looking for that ultimate cool factor, that undeniable connection to elite operators, even if the closest you get to special operations is finding a good deal on tactical pants. You probably know every single detail about its deployment, its effective range, and which famous fictional sniper carried one. Oh, you nerd. This rifle ain't just a tool for you, it's a badge of honor, a symbol of your aspiration to be part of the best, even if your biggest mission is getting to the range on time with a gas station burrito in hand. You might even mimic their shooting stances, trying to look the part, and you probably tell anyone who will listen about its legendary accuracy. It's a fantastic rifle, no doubt, but your enthusiasm for it, well, that might be a little bit on the border of obsession. It's alright, we won't tell anybody. But then there's a USMC M40. Now, if you're rolling with one of these, it says you like your rifles like you like your coffee. Classic, bolt action, and with no sweeteners, no fancy syrups or whipped cream on top. You appreciate tradition, simplicity, and a rifle that's been proven in the toughest conditions by the toughest folks. You probably talk a lot about the hand-built nature of these rifles, how each one is carefully crafted, and how it represents the enduring spirit of the Marine Corps snipers. You're not looking for the latest fad or the newest modular platform. You know what you want? You want something reliable, rugged, and timeless. You might even have a story about why the M40 is superior to, well, any other service rifle, probably involving its iron sights and a long-distance shot in a hurricane. This rifle speaks to your old-school values, your respect for history, and your belief in fundamental marksmanship. You probably prefer wood stocks to polymer, and you definitely don't believe in unnecessary attachments cluttering up your rifle. It's a rifle that represents a legacy, and if you're carrying it, you're carrying that tradition proudly, even if it is, a bit heavier than those newfangled plastic guns. That's alright, that's what your arms are for. Now, if you believe everything should be built off a Remington 700, including your personality, then the M24 sniper weapon system's probably your jam. This rifle screams tried and true. You love the modularity, the commonality, all the parts, and the fact that it's been the backbone of precision shooting for decades in the U.S. Army. You probably spent hours customizing yours, swapping out stocks and triggers and barrels alike, but you always come back to that dependable Remington 700 action. You're the kind of person who believes in a solid foundation, whether it's a rifle or a good old American barn, smack dab in the middle of Texas. You likely scoff at some of the newer designs, saying, oh, they're too complicated, or they don't have a soul, and true bolt action. This rifle, well, it says you appreciate reliability, widespread support, and the comfort of a platform that's been around the block a few times and proven itself every way it knows how. Shoot, you probably know every variant of the M24, and you're always ready to explain why it's still relevant in today's high-tech world. It's a rifle that represents a lineage of precision, and if you own one, you're part of that legacy. Real purists at heart. Oh man, if you're packing one of these, you watch one too many movies. Probably, let me guess, shooter, and now you think windage charts are a personality trait. This rifle's less about practicality and more about that cinematic flair, ain't it? You probably spent more time memorizing ballistic data and atmospheric conditions than you did actually practicing your fundamentals. You're looking for that ultimate long-range shot, the one that makes everyone gasp, and even if that takes you 10 minutes to set up the shot and actually recalculate everything, then recalculate, and then recalculate. You probably own all the accessories, don't you? The specialized rangefinders, the weather stations, the custom ballistic calculators that'll cost more than some folks' entire rifle collections. Yeah, this rifle says you dream big and you shoot long, and you love showing off the capabilities of your equipment. You're ready to hit a target at distances that make most people scratch their heads and ask, is that even possible? It's a rifle for the ambitious, the dramatic, the ones who don't mind a little extra math with their shooting. You're probably more interested in the raw numbers and the actual holes on the paper, ain't you? If this precision rifle is your choice, it says you wanted a precision rifle and any excuse to explain geopolitics in every group chat you're in. You probably spent hours researching Russian engineering and its reputation for robustness, and how this rifle stands up against Western designs. You're not just shooting, you're making a statement about global manufacturing and international relations. You probably got some pretty strong opinions about some various trade agreements. This rifle screams exotic precision and sophistication and taste. You're probably telling everyone about its cold, hammer-forged barrel and unique action and how it represents a blend of traditional craftsmanship and modern accuracy together. You are looking for something that performs at the highest level but also carries a certain mystique, something that sets you apart from the crowd. It's a rifle for the discerning, the well-informed, and the ones who love a good intellectual debate as much as a tight group. But you know what? If you're out there sporting a Sacco TRG 22A1, what it says about you is you don't trust anything. Anything that doesn't come with a finished engineering degree, that is. You probably got a deep appreciation for precision and reliability and designs that just work. No fuss, no muss. You likely have researched every little detail about its cold hammer-forged barrel and its slick bolt action, knowing that it's built to perform in the harshest conditions. You're the kind of person who believes in rugged elegance, something that is beautiful to look at as it is accurate to shoot. You probably scoff at the rifles that look too tactical, and you prefer clean lines and solid feel of a truly well-engineered firearm. This rifle screams that you're a serious shooter, one who values consistency and hitting exactly what you're aiming at every single time. You probably know all about its adjustable stock, its excellent trigger, and how it's a favorite among competitive shooters all over the world. It's a rifle for the discerning, the disciplined, and the ones who understand that true quality often comes from unexpected places, especially if those places are cold in Northern Europe. But now, if you're packing an IWI Dan 338, it says you like long-range shooting a whole lot, but you need the manual every time you clean it, don't you? You're probably drawn to its modern looks, its formidable 338 Lapua Magnum chambering, and the fact that it comes from Israel, known for some tough-as-nails firearms, huh? You wanted something capable of reaching out and touching targets way, way out there. Something that stands out from the usual crowd of precision rifles. You probably appreciate its full-length Picatinny rail and its overall robust construction, but when it comes to breaking it down, those sleek lines and tight tolerances might just leave you scratching your head wondering where that little spring went. You're adventurous. You're willing to try new things, but you're also humble enough to admit when you need a little help, even if that help comes from a booklet with a tiny print. This rifle says you're serious about pushing boundaries, but you're still a human being who occasionally misplaces a cleaning rod or forgets which way the bolt goes back in. The McMillan TAC 338. If this is your long-range monster, it says you want sub-MOA groups and an ego that matches your muzzle brake. You probably love the fact that McMillan's known for building some of the most accurate rifles on the planet, and you're not afraid to invest in that reputation. You're not just looking for good accuracy, you're looking for perfection, for groups so tight they can be covered by a dime at 100 yards. And you, my friend, expect that performance every single time. Your ego? Well, it is probably as big as a thunderclap that comes from that massive muzzle brake designed to tame the recoil of that .338 Lapua. You probably tell everyone how easy it is to shoot tiny groups with it, even though you put in hours and hours and hours of practice with load development. This rifle screams serious competitor or dedicated enthusiast who spares no expense in the pursuit of that precision. It's a rifle that demands respect, and if you're the one wielding it, you expect that respect to extend to your own formidable shooting skills. Now, the S&T Motive K14, if this is your choice, it says you want it to be different. So you pick the one rifle that no one else can pronounce, much less has ever seen at the range. You probably enjoy the quizzical looks you get when you pull it out of its case and the confused expressions when you, like myself, try to say its name. You appreciate its unique origin, being a South Korean military sniper rifle. Something truly off the beaten path for most Western shooters. Now, I know you probably researched its military service, its unique features, and why it's a solid, dependable rifle, even if it doesn't have the same market presence as some of those, bigger names. But this rifle screams individualist and unique taste. You're not following the crowd, you're blazing at your own trail, even if that trail is a little less traveled and harder to pronounce. You enjoy the exclusivity, the fact that you own a piece of precision engineering that is truly distinct. And finally, the L115A3. If you're flexing with this one, it says you flex British engineering like you're still bitter about the Revolutionary War. You probably tell everyone about how it holds a record for the longest confirmed kill shot, though, us in the know it's not true. But you know what? We can't own the rifle that has a record. You appreciate its rugged, all-weather design and its legendary performance in the harshest environments. Now, I know you're probably a fan of classic British understatement mixed with deadly precision, and you'll explain how it's brilliantly simple while it's still being incredibly effective. This rifle screams proven performer and no-nonsense accuracy. You're not looking for flashy, you're looking for reliable, repeatable, and undeniably effective. This thing is a rifle storied with history. And if you're the one behind it, you're carrying on a tradition of quiet, devastating accuracy. Alright, you know what? I got a bonus one for you. The Horizon's Lord, aka the sniper rifle you bring up when your internet search history is 90% world record sniper shot and 10% how to acquire Ukrainian war gear. Listen, if this is your dream rifle, you've already convinced yourself that technically you could hit a target at 3.8 kilometers too, if only someone would just let you. You ain't just a fan of long range, you're allergic to anything under a mile. You're out here quoting ballistic coefficients like they're scripture, casually suggesting 50 caliber BMGs for rookies. You don't just own this rifle, nobody does, but that's not going to stop you from daydreaming about building a loadout for it on some obscure gun forum while sipping instant coffee and muttering, one day. The Horizon's Lord is less of a gun and more of a power fantasy wrapped in proprietary ammo, Cold War aesthetics, and Eastern European drama alike. You don't flex it, you worship it. And the worst part? Same, bro. We all do. So there you have it, folks, a little peek into what your choice of sniper rifle truly reveals. Whether you're all about that bone-jarring 50 cal or you're a purist with a classic bolt action, well, each rifle has its own story and so do you. But remember, precision, well, it takes practice, so keep them skills sharp. Now, if you enjoyed this little breakdown, go on and hit that subscribe button and tell me in the comments what your favorite long-range gun is. Y'all stay safe.